we are live. Okay, good day, everybody. This is the Ecclesiarch here, back with some more Horus Heresy Legions, but to disappoint some of the fans, it's only the card creation tournament. HHL is in the back. Boys, not yet, at least. So, yeah, anyway, I'm here, as always, with none other than Shad, and we are going to be running this tournament again. So, Shad, how you doing?
Yeah, good, thanks. Yeah, it's good to be back after the new year with this. I've missed these. There's so many exciting things that people make. Like
Absolutely.
I love all the cards we've seen. I can see ahead already.
Absolutely.
Well, I mean, I don't. I'm gonna hate them, of course, but like I love the passion that went into them.
Let's just say that these are the cards that you love to hate.
It's a very dramatic line of text, isn't it? So yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
So as always, I think we can start from our own cards. Like and I'm sure I made one that you're gonna love to hate, but let's start from yours, which is the Life Eater Bomb. And as per tradition, I believe I will do this one and you do mine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so guys, let's take a look at what Shad made. So it's an 8 energy chaos card, Life Eater Bomb, Death on Istvan 3. And it says, return all vehicles to their owner's hands, then destroy all troops in play. Now, I gotta say, and hey, Transcend, so I gotta say that this is a flavor that I really love, because I'm not sure if I got it correctly, Shad, but for me, what it says is, like, there's virus bombing, which means that everybody basically dies, and the vehicles obviously are left without any pilots, right? And anybody to drive them. So obviously they have to go back into the hands, right? So I think it makes total sense that it functions this way. And yeah, I mean, it's like a conqueror, but it also has a very interesting synergy because it means that you're allowed to build a vehicle deck and capitalize on this a little bit, which the conqueror never allowed you to do because it was just a world eater card to destroy everything. I like it a lot, to be honest. I also like that it's neutral. Absolutely.
Yeah, you pretty much nailed the flavor there. There's a little bit more to it than that. It's I forget exactly which book it is, probably the first one, but there is a scene that I vividly remember where a princeps of a warlord titan, like Saul Tarvitz, got the warning about the Life Eater bombing down just in time, and she went, oh shit, and just locked everything down, maximum venting and all that. Basically, the warlord titan went dead while they kept it completely sealed until the Life Eater bomb was finished.
Yeah, that's off. Galaxy in Flames. That's I think in Galaxy in Flames.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was kind of what I had in mind as well here. Like it's shutting the whole thing down, but it's a similar flavor. It's just in this case the crew survive. They just they have to boot the thing back up and be replayed again essentially. So yeah, that's exactly what it is. And again, like mechanically, like you said, there's things you can do with it. So it's a vehicle synergy focused card, but it can also bite you in the ass if your opponent has vehicles because it'll give them more value. So yeah. And I chose 8 energy because the Conqueror was basically never playable. If the World Eaters had had a better control suite, they might have been able to make it work, but I don't think so. So I think 80 is about right for a destroy all units. Destroy all troops with maybe a little bit of an upside. The Great Tithe is a bad example, in my opinion, because that's too strong. That should be 9 energy. It's
Great Tithe is extremely powerful. Yeah, I agree.
Yes.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
Yours then. So, the Furious Abyss, a 10 energy Word Bearer's legendary.
One of the worst books, by the way.
Oh yeah, I've heard that before. Yep. Destroy all troops. Discard your hand. Summon a random Word Bearer troop with an energy cost equal to the total cost of troops destroyed. This cannot exceed 10 energy. All right. I don't know. It's remarkably balanced considering it caps out at 10 energy, I would say. And let's be real, it's always going to hit the 10 energy marker pretty much. Even though you'd probably rather it hit 9 since Mara Gal is at that. But yeah. There are some formatting issues, of course. You probably don't need that many full stops. Word bearer should be capitalized and have its symbol. Cannot should be one word. It's minor little things there. And I get the flavor, and I do like it because that thing, the Furious Abyss itself, it was one of those 3 giant ships. You even used the original, what was that, Space War art? I forget, it's old. It's fucking old.
Yeah.
Rogue Trader era. Love that.
Yeah, the idea behind the flavor, if I remember the good book correctly, is that this thing was supposed to, like, attack the Ultramarines, and when it would
Yeah.
descend on the planet, basically was to annihilate everything. And after everything was basically destroyed, then it would be followed up by a ground invasion of the word bearers to just mop up everything that is there. So yeah.
Also, the flavor of having to expend all your resources to make this thing, because like this was one of the biggest ships ever recorded in in 40k, I believe. Well, made by the Imperium at least. So yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if summon a random word bearer troop makes sense. Honestly, it kind of feels like it should be like fill your board with random word bearers, like you said, for a mass planetary landing. But you'd have to cap it out at like, I don't know, 3 or 4 energy, so a giant Ornithop's barge style effect. But yeah, no, I don't hate it, honestly. I'm surprised how well balanced it is considering the nutty effect it is.
Oh yeah, the idea this came from was Deathwing from Hearthstone,
Well,
because
oh yeah, that's a good card. I like that. But ironically, what you've done is you've made a more balanced version of the card that's already in the game. But what is the name of that? The new word bearer legendary, the battle barge, like
oh
troop.
my god, I just
This
remembered
one,
it.
yeah. Yours is more balanced because it it actually costs you 1 more energy and it throws your hand in the bin. So yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, you've made a more balanced one. That's amazing. How did you manage to like do something so obscene and it's still better than like EG's version that's actually in the game?
Well, I think that's already like a tradition. So, all
Yeah,
right,
that is true. That is
let's
true.
move on then. So we got number 1, and that's mine, which is the Angel Falls. Has a pretty nice art there. Destroy all non-Blood Angels troops. So this is 7 energy. Put in play 1 45th section on each side of your Warlord. Give them Survivor 1 and trigger all Requiem abilities of troops. Well, it's overloaded as hell, that's for sure.
Ah,
Honestly, I like the idea of like I like the destroy all troop effects in general. The problem, and I also like the fact that it can then summon you something. I just think that it's maybe a little bit too strong because it's your troops are immune to this, and then you also get 45th sections, which is already a really good card, and then it gets overbuffed like
oh
crazy.
yeah, no. It's way too strong. Also, technically, this is a disqualification anyway because it has not followed the brief. It has unfortunately put the wording of "destroy all troops" out of order. They needed to be in order, so we can overlook stuff like that because it might have been ambiguous.
Yeah, because it was a little ambiguous. Yeah, Shad, we should
But
overlook
also,
that.
it's so way overpowered and out of whack for balance that it's like it probably wouldn't be eligible for a top 3 spot anyway. But the art is lovely. I'll give it that, and the flavor's good. All right, so formatting and wording. So falls needs to be capitalized. Destroy all non-Blood Angels troops. Let's see. You need to put the symbol in when you put Blood Angels. Typically, that's how EG usually does it. 45th section needs to be quotation marked, and give them Survivor 1. Trigger all Requiem abilities of all troops. That should be trigger. Should probably be trigger or requiem. No, you're right. That wording's fine. Yeah. So it's got a few issues formatting wise, got a few issues wording wise, and the balance is fucked. And it's kind of not really following the brief.
David says, looks balanced to me. Blood Angels are such losers that they will find a way to lose the game anyway. Oh my god.
Yeah. See, to be honest, I don't really know if I understand the flavor entirely as well. Why is it destroying all non-Blood Angel troops? When Sanguinius dies, I get that they went berserk and started murdering everything, but this, like, it's basically a one-sided board wipe. It's kind of the opposite of a self-destructive rampage. I mean, all you need to do to not have any downside of this is just don't play shit neutrals, which most decks don't do anyway because EG don't like printing good neutrals anymore. So there's no downside. It's a 7 energy one-sided board wipe, which is nuts. Like you shouldn't even print one-sided board wipe at 10 energy probably.
Yeah, in terms of it being too strong, yeah, it's definitely too strong. But yeah, as you said, like flavor's pretty interesting, art's pretty good, and formatting is pretty much okay, I guess. So yeah, let's move on.
Right, me is it?
Yes,
Right.
emergency powers.
Emergency powers, 6 energy, legendary Imperial Army tactic. At the start of your next turn, add Exterminatus to your hand. And Exterminatus is a purple card, which is 0 energy, destroy all troops, discard this card at the end of your turn. I So there is one wording issue, and it breaks my heart because otherwise it's perfect, and that is Exterminatus as a separate reference card should be in quotation marks. Otherwise, it's perfect, and the art choices are wonderful, and it's a purple card that I do not hate because it actually makes sense. This card is nuts. It's not a collectible card. It's a very specific effect that you can't get or achieve in any other way than using one tastefully used purple card. Alright, as for how the balance, though, I worry this may still be too strong. Because, yes, you have to telegraph it, and that is very cool. I love how that plays. But, given that you get to telegraph it, you can play it during your next turn, and then dump your hand onto the board. It essentially lets you blow up everything, and then develop onto the board, thus lessening the impact of a equilateral board wipe. Sorry, that's not the right word. An equal board wipe, should we say. I love it. I really, really do. Maybe 7 energy, I want to say.
Speaking of which, Rostislav says Angel Falls looks like kind of an Infidus Imperator, but a lot better. So in this tournament, we got a lot of cards that are better than Infidus Imperator. So yeah, absolutely.
And that card is stupid busted, so that is not something that you should be balancing to.
Azarmal, nice to see you as well. Oh, okay, so here's the thing.
No, you do not. Yeah, Transcend, you don't get to keep it. Look at the text on Exterminatus. Yeah.
Yeah, you discard it at the end of your turn. I honestly like this a lot because look at this. It is something that really does play very slow though, because look at this. It's 6 energy, so when you're at 6 energy, you're not doing anything. And on the next turn as well, your opponent still gets to smack you, right? So, for example, imagine your opponent drops something very big, right? And suddenly you play this, so it hits you, and on the next turn, you're still vulnerable. However, if you do survive, then you get the payoff. So
also,
okay.
I can see a sick combo deck with Death Guard with this, because like you can set this up and have it in your hand to be an extra Death Rattle trigger, a backlash trigger, basically during your combo off turn. That's fucking awesome. There's so much cool things, like, and it's great in like a hard control deck. I mean, imagine this with like Warlord precog, so that or stealth, so you can hide for a turn while you load up the emergency powers and then just drop a nuke on them. So cool. There's so many interesting things you can do with this, but I do think 7 energy would be a good place to put it. Yeah, love this card. All right.
Okay, super. Yeah, I like it too. I think it's just really, really good. Okay, so let's move on. The Dark King. So 10 energy Custodes card. So this is referencing the end of the death, I'm guessing. So destroy all troops. Your warlord gains invulnerable until your next turn. Put in play a random custodian and give it front line. Okay, so it's a board wipe plus a unit summon plus an invulnerable. It's like a very big get out of the jail free card.
It's also a very random summon, which is not great.
You know what the thing is? I think okay, can you help me out with the flavor a little bit? I might be missing something here.
Oh, this is what happened. Basically, so when the Emperor is about to go all out in the Dark King, right at the cusp of fully embracing the power, the Argonauts find him, and at that point, there is only one custodian left standing by him.
Oh, yeah, that's true. And then he just reverts back, and then he spreads out the whole thing, so destroying the Warp Storm. Yeah.
This is right at the cusp of it, when he's still got his one loyal custodian with him. That's I forget his name. He's in the game now. It's the latest custodian warlord they added. What's his name? It's gonna bug me.
I can see why then he's not automatically summoned, but I think it would be better if you just ditch the invulnerable from this, and instead it always summons a very specific custodian. It would be better because, like, imagine like you do this and you just summon like a 2-cost custodian or something. It's really shitty, right? So I don't like the RNG range on this thing. Otherwise, it's pretty good.
What if it created the custodian in your hand, so that way you're paying the energy for it regardless?
That could be better, yeah. In which case, I guess you could keep the invulnerable.
Yeah, because I like the flavor of that. You know, the Dark King being utterly indestructible, essentially, while he's that
Hmm.
powerful, but only temporarily when he gives the power back.
Art is really good, by
Uh,
the way.
it is. Yeah, it's AI generated, but I don't have no problem with AI when it's used properly like this. And this is exactly what I imagined the dark orb that was described. Yeah, the black sun.
Yeah, this is pretty good.
Yeah,
Same.
but balance-wise, it's probably it's a bit too strong, isn't it? And I don't like how wildly inconsistent the results is.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, inconsistent results are usually something that I also frown upon
Yeah.
because I don't like a very huge RNG range because it's like, oh, if I get lucky, it's so good, and if I don't get lucky, it's pretty crap. So
Yeah, well, card games already have built-in RNG essentially. That's why you don't want to double down and put RNG on top of RNG because you can't guarantee draw order anyway. You can, be screwed and draw your high-cost cards or draw the perfect answer. You don't need to slap in even more dice rolls and Clown Fiesta randomness on top. So, yeah, that's the problem Hearthstone really went down for a brief while. I think they fixed most of those issues now, actually. Apparently, it's quite a good game again. It's just monetized to fuck, so I'm not going back. But they fixed the Clown Fiesta randomness.
that's good. That's good. I mean,
Some of
last
it, anyway.
last time I played, it was okay, but yeah, it's monetized. That's crazy.
Yeah, not going
Okay,
back. There you go.
yours
That's one thing.
next.
I need to say something nice about EG though. For all of the faults that they have about how they run this game, this is the least predatory CCG I have ever played. So that is why I'm still here. That's why I've got a full collection. That's why I love this game still.
Absolutely, both of the EG games are like the least predatory games in
Oh,
terms of
don't
card
care.
games I've
Don't,
played.
don't care. Still not playing Warpforge.
I mean, Warforged is actually even less predatory than HHL.
Yeah, good because
Okay,
it's less fun to play.
fair enough.
All right. Hey, is this mine? Yeah. Paramus, Mutual Destruction, 2 energy, Legendary Alpha Legion, Secret Order. This is Secret Order. After this act, destroy all troops. That is so cool, but I think that might be a bit fucking busted.
I
I
mean,
don't know. Oh yeah. Sorry.
let's be honest. In some situations, it's very bad, very busted. For example, let's say somebody has a full board and then you play this on something. If they risk it, they might it might get destroyed. But let's think realistically on it. This can also be technically be used against you as well, because if the opponent just doesn't attack with the troop, but then attacks when you have board control, it might be used against you. But then again, it might turn out that it was never Paramus to begin with. But
Yeah.
I
The
mean,
problem is
shenanigans.
it kind of interacts badly with another one they have now, which is at the end of this turn, destroy this troop, isn't it? Like you can't play around both. You can't test and be safe essentially. So it's kind of suffering from the fact that you can't really add too many secret orders without breaking their design space. But I do love this. This is very interesting. There are a few formatting issues though. The destruction needs to be capitalized. Destroy needs to not be capitalized. It also doesn't need a comma there, but yeah. Otherwise, pretty much fine. Yeah, and I just it's so cool. It's so cool.
Yeah, I also think that it is
Yeah.
really cool. I think that it's I
Transcend
think that
brings
it's
an
super
important
fun.
point up. You can generate it even though it's legendary. So maybe it needs a line of text saying cannot be generated or something like that.
Yes, that is absolutely necessary to or just make Alpharis not generate legendary ones. Anyway, yeah, I like it. Honestly, I like it. It's fun. And Alpha Legion is fun. So, well, not to play against, but to play. Okay, so let's move on. Emperor's Vengeance, another 10 cost custodian card. So what do we have here? Put in place 6 custodians that died this game, trigger their exemplar effect, and destroy all troops in play. Oh. Oh. Oh.
That's interesting.
That's actually very interesting. So, by custodians, I guess we also can you please remind me? Do some of their vehicles count as custodians now?
No. Custodian. So when it's worded like this, it means the type. So if they wanted to be everything in the faction, it would say Legio Custodes Troop. So it's only grabbing custodians.
This is very interesting. You know why this is interesting? Because you could technically build a deck around this that will be like very exemplar heavy, and this gives you like a late game card, because imagine all these things are summoned, you then trigger their exemplars, and then everything is destroyed, but maybe that exemplar maintains some bonuses, right? Maybe stat boosts and things like that. But on top of that, doesn't Constantine Valdor's Reckoning go down when exemplar is being used?
It does, so it would definitely boost him quite significantly.
Ooh,
Main issue I
interesting.
see with it is cool, but it's like it's kind of got some. It just doesn't really function very well, is the thing. Like the idea's good, but the execution is poor because a lot of custodian exemplar effects are damage oriented and like will often hit troops. So essentially, what it's doing is spam 6 exemplar effects. Like 2 of them will be useful, the rest are wasted, and then blow everything up. And it just feels bad and like messy. But yeah, I get the flavor of it. But again, it's very much a Valdor card, isn't it?
It's definitely a Valdor card for sure.
Yeah, and you play it with a Heracol Calaxor to make sure that you get the attack buff. And what other like exemplar effects really matter in this? Hang on, I've got the game open. I'll have a quick look on exemplar cards, see if anything pops up. There are a few wording and formatting issues too, of course, but get to those in a minute.
Are there anything
Let's
that damage the Warlord or something?
Yeah, well, there are a few most of them are random, is the thing. So, like, they can hit the Warlord, but most of the time they're not going to. Like, let's say Hetiron Lictor, for example, Exemplar, gain first strike, does nothing. Rothrian Constor, Exemplar, gain +2 attack, does nothing. Vankatoi Sagittaria, your Warlord gains +2 attack. That does something. That's one. Like, Warden, +3 health, gain shields, gain first strike. 9 out of 10 of these effects basically don't do anything. So it's Firepike Terminator, Heracol Calaxor, and Tharanatoy Aquilon are the ones that really matter.
So it's
So
a Valdor
essentially,
Reckoning speedrun.
yeah, that is basically. You see what I mean about how it's messy? All of these cards that it's supposed to interact with, and they don't interact very well. Yeah, but I like the
Okay.
idea. It's got some interesting potential there. Yeah. Also, good art. Anyway, sorry, I meant to do the wording thing. So let's see. Vengeance is spelt right. It should. What do they actually put the type as for these things? It's Custodes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually,
So that's
one thing that I
correct.
actually like about this chat is that most of the cars that this is going to be built around are not
Hmm.
used too much right now, I think. So it
That is
does
true.
make them more playable, which is nice, I guess.
Yeah, that would help. And to be fair, if there were any custodians with backlash, that would help a little bit. They would still have some useful effect there as well. So,
Yeah.
sorry, I was gonna. I keep getting distracted. Destroyer troops in play. Trigger their exemplar effect. I would say effects plural, but it's not a big deal. Yeah, that's honestly, that's actually it's quite well formatted. Yeah, I take it back, and the art's great. As for
Okay.
whether it would be strong or too weak, a destroy all troops effect at 10 energy with some potential extra exemplar bonuses, but you have to play around it. It would be fine. It would only be played in Valdor.
Yeah,
You know?
that's the only limiting factor.
Yeah.
Demonic Ascension. So is this mine or yours? I don't remember.
It's me now, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, you
Yeah.
bastard! You set this up. Demonic Ascension, Chaos Legendary Tactic, 25 energy. Costs 1 less for each Chaos card played this game. Destroy all troops. Choose a demonic gift. And the demonic gifts, there are 4 of them, 1 for each Chaos God, which I appreciate the symmetry of. Gift of Blood. Your Warlord gains Rage. Deal 1 damage to another random unit. Gift of Change. Shuffle 20 random cards into your opponent's deck. Holy shit. Gift of Pleasure. Your Warlord gains Relentless. Reveal the top card of your deck. If it is a troop, put it into play and deal 2 damage to it. Gift of Rot. Your Warlord gains +0/+5, and enemy troops have -1 attack.
Bro, the
Um,
arts are so good though.
they are. They look. I think they're AI generated, but again, they're done very well. All right. Balance wise, hard to tell because it's basically a pseudo reckoning, so it depends how you build around it. Formatting wise, though, you fucked it a little because you have made it trigger off your chaos cards and your opponent's chaos cards, and that means that if your opponent has the misfortune of being playing a chaos deck against you, they're owned. That's they're wrecked. So that's kind of that's not very fair, basically, to just get randomly screwed in the matchup or randomly buffed in your case. But otherwise, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's basically a better version of this is what Horus's Reckoning should have been, the original Horus.
Actually, yeah,
Yeah.
this is actually pretty cool. I think the
Hmm.
only fix it needs really is that it should not be on opponent's cards as well.
Oh,
Otherwise, it's too busted.
I don't agree. There are still some other problems with it. The gifts do not stack up very well when it comes to like power level.
Yeah,
Like
Gifts of Blood
gift,
is
yeah.
shit.
Well, not shit necessarily,
Compared to
but
the
it's
others.
yeah. Well, you do get to choose out of the three, so if you build around it, you can get ready for it. Gift of Change is very random, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, obviously. And it can give your opponent utter garbage, but it can give your opponent like powerful OP legendaries. So essentially, the legendary design in this game, which is they're pushed to try and sell packs, makes this bad or makes it good for your opponent. If the cards were better balanced, Gift of Change would be better. Gift of Pleasure, again, that is potentially insane. That's basically the quest reward from the Custodies quest, and that's very good. And Gift of Rot is also incredible amounts of HP essentially. So yeah, they're not well balanced. But yeah, the fact you get to choose three basically out of the four means you mostly get the choice you want though. So fair enough. I like that aspect of the design. It's just yeah. I don't know. How would you change Gift of Blood? I said change deal 1 damage to another random enemy. That would probably buff it enough significantly, wouldn't it?
Then
Well,
I think you also need to, like, in that case, give Bloodthirst or something, because like you're working really hard to get this, and you just become old Karn without Bloodthirst. Ozzy mentioned that you're basically becoming old Karn, but a little bit better, but without the Bloodthirst. So I
I
don't
like the
know.
idea of Bloodthirst. Yeah, that's not bad. And Gift of Pleasure needs to be nerfed, and Gift of Rot is also. You just remove the health buff. I think make it so enemy troops have -1 attack. That's enough. That's very good flavor, and
Which
it's
Primarch would win the Squid Game? All of them.
well, I'll no Alfarius. Come on.
Oh, if you would send like 20 of them in. Oh, sorry, 18 of them in. Alfarius definitely wins. Okay, that's like not even a question. Okay, yeah, I agree. Like, great art, great idea, but needs a little balancing for
Yeah.
sure.
All right.
Okay,
On to
then
you.
on to Onto Eternity, or Onto, right? Or Onto.
Yeah, it should be separate. Two separate words. Yeah.
Okay, so all troops attack each other once. Troops that survive attack the Warlord once. And destroy all troops and deal damage equal to both warlords for each respective enemy troop destroyed.
Jesus.
Holy
Okay.
hell, it's like complete onslaught. What the hell? Okay, so troops attack each other. If any survive, then they attack the warlord. And then everything blows up and the warlords get damaged. You know what? On one side, it might seem that this is like a major crazy thing. I do, however, see the idea. The idea is that after so many attacks, most probably everything will be done for, right? So,
Probably.
and then when you destroy, so you can't really uber abuse it to destroy the enemy warlord, but sometimes this can create extremely awkward situations. So, imagine like you drop something with a shield, right? Something with high attack and a shield. So it attacks a unit, then it attacks the
Well,
warlord, then it blows up and does more damage.
the problem is again is the wording is ambiguous because all troops attack each other once. What does that mean? Does that mean they attack each troop in play once, or do they attack a random troop once? And like it's not clear. So like, does that mean they keep on bashing until there's just one left, essentially, or they attack each other? Because realistically, nothing but only one troop is going to live if that's the scenario. I don't think that's what they meant. I think they meant it attacks a random troop, but yeah, it's not well worded. The art's nice. I wonder where they got that. That's Sigismund versus the fat guy, the Death Guard duelist during Under the Death. I don't remember his name, but yeah, see, they're fighting in front of the Astronomicon. It's
Oh my
cool.
god. Sigismund versus the fat guy.
I could remember his. Hang on, no, I remember his name. Kalidas Skull something. I don't know. I made a card of him, but I don't remember his name now.
It's funny because he's fat. Okay, so
Yeah, no, that is literally what Sigismund notices. Like, I can't stab this guy. He won't die. He's too fat and full of maggots.
oh my god. Yeah, I think like this card is a little bit too confusing for its own good. Maybe what it should do is that it should destroy all troops, but it should deal damage to the enemy warlord equal to each respective troop destroyed, right? So maybe
Yeah.
it would be like Great Tithe as well. Great Tithe
Yeah.
and Targetai Sacrifice combined, which would justify the lower cost.
Yeah, Grey Dogs also pointed out that it's like the warlord. Who is the warlord? Which is the warlord? So it's just kind of it's very ambiguous. I get the feeling that this looks like a Russian card. It's probably been put through a translator, and that's why it's a bit ambiguous.
Hmm.
So fair enough. It's hard to do that sort of thing in a different language. Really. But yeah, it's just too messy and unclear. So I can't really give a good evaluation of this because I don't know what they wanted.
Oh, Ozzy makes a good point. Look at this. Making shield units bash into each other, it could be... Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of interesting things this could do, but it's, for now, indeed very, very ambiguous. Okay, Shad,
Right.
Deep Space Anomaly is yours.
Hey, good. Deep Space Anomaly, 10 energy Mechanicum legendary. I must admit, that's a faction I didn't expect to see in this contest. Temporal Deep Space Anomaly, destroy all troops. Both warlords gain Relentless. Return a random friendly troop that died this game into play. So poor wording there, should be just died this game to play, but it's not a big deal. The Relentless is properly formatted. It's got the quotation marks. Both warlords gain, correct wording. How balanced is it though?
Well, your enemy gets the
Honestly,
troop first.
yeah, no, I think this is really weak actually, which is a shame because it's kind of cool. This feels like what this feels like 7 energy. That feels about right to me. I get that you can build around it, so you only have like really heavy troops and stuff, so you leverage the equal effect better. But you still have to build a deck around that, and there's no way to cheese this because like normally when you have to build a deck that only has heavy troops in it, like a desperate defense deck, you can cheese it by using tactics, low cost tactics that spawn troops, but they're not in your deck, so you don't accidentally pull them. You can't cheese it with Deep Space Anomaly. If it's died, it's in the pool. So yeah, I don't see how you'd use this at its current cost, and I don't think the upside would be big enough to even justify it. So this feels like 7 energy to me. Maybe 8.
Fair enough. I think the idea here is that I love the idea, but yeah, it needs to cost a little bit less because at 10 energy, most probably there's not like that significant board presence to even make this work. And in most cases, it will just benefit the opponent. So I think, yeah, lower cost would be justified, since it's bringing everything back. Yeah, all right. I'd say it needs a cost reduction as well. Dire Situation. Oh my god, Shad, I got it.
A mission. Oh no.
Oh no, I got the giant card. Okay, alright, fair enough. Has to happen to me once. Okay, so Dire Situation, a Custodes legendary. Let's see what this is. Mission, 3 or more custodians die in your turn 2 times. Oh wow, okay, so you have to wipe 3 custodians at least during your turn. That's very hard to do, by the way. That's not easy to accomplish. But you could do it with some flanks and stuff. But yeah, definitely not easy to do.
The cheap flank is gone though. It's in Legacy now.
Oh shit, that's right. Oh, okay. Anyway, so let's see what the reward is, right? Dark Reliquary. Fill your hands with dark artifacts. Holy shit. Your warlord gains Relentless, create a dark artifact in your deck. So they... Ooh. This is gonna be crazy strong. Okay, let's go. Amnetic Munitions. 2 energy. Give +4 and sneak attack to a friendly troop. Gem of Somnolence. Give can't attack to a random enemy unit. Oh, permanently, by the way. That's why it costs 8. Grail of Hjorm. Give Bloodthirst to all units in play until the end of your next turn. That's really cool, by the way. I like that.
Not very good though, considering how busted all of these other ones are.
Vault's Lament. 5 energy. Give a friendly troop Savage, destroy a card in your opponent's hand.
Brutal.
A Replicating Nanoswarm. Give a friendly troop Resolution, double the attack of this troop. Okay. A Rangdan Bio Accelerator. Give +9 and Awaken to a friendly troop. Broken Tesseract Labyrinth. Destroy all troops. If there are no troops, destroy all units. What? Okay. Chrome Blood Catalyst. Give a friendly troop -2 to all rage. Give -2 to all enemy troops permanently. Okay, holy hell. You know what? Okay, let me actually say what I think about this.
But before I come in, like with the fucking elbow drop from the top rope.
Yeah, Shad is like literally charging with a friggin' halberd right now. But before he gets here, I really love the idea of how the mission is supposed to be done because it's very difficult to pull off. But if you do pull it off, you get a very big reward. Problem is that the reward is way too busted. Okay, because it fills your hand and it also gives some of these to you. So now in terms of like the flavor, it's definitely pretty good in terms of the Dark Reliquary, but I think the very high amount of RNG is what makes this terrifying, as well as some of the cards being absolutely busted. I think it would be really good if, for example, you would choose only 3 or 4 of these options, maybe maximum 5, and maybe just make it as a resolution and not filling your hand, because filling your hand with this is way too much. You're practically auto winning the game unless you get extremely unlucky with this. So I think there's a good idea here, especially in terms of flavor. It just needs to be revisited for sure. Shad, take it away.
I'm actually going to be nicer than you probably expect, because I agree with you when I say the flavor is amazing, and that salvages a lot of it. The actual mission requirements itself, also very interesting and to actually play and build around. However, that's where the praise ends, because holy crap, these purples, no. They are, as has been pointed out in the chat, massively like varied in terms of power level, which is a no-no. They all need to be roughly balanced. And like they're just there's so many of them. I get that they're all good flavor references, but like look, Grail of Kjorm, that is just a worse version of what was it, Perturba's Wrath or something, the Iron Warriors card that was in so that's an example. That's there's a card that's already in the game that wasn't ever really played that much. It wasn't that good, and you made a worse version. Compare that, and then you have like crazy shit like Gem of Somnolence, which can literally end a game if you hit a gym boss warlord with it, like permanently. That's it. It's game over. Amnetic Munitions, which is just nuts, especially if you combine it with a flank or a fast or something. Ball's Lament is literally discard, which is a mechanic EG do not like you doing. It would be acceptable as a mission reward because that's really hard to pull off, but it's still very polarizing, shall we say, compared to all the others. Replicating Nanoswarm, resolution, double the attack of this troop. That could be huge, that could be nothing. Rangdan Bioaccelerator, that's just like, provided you have at least one troop on the field, that becomes a ridiculously strong piece of burn. So, yeah, no, I good flavor, man. You know what you're talking about, and I appreciate that. Like, this is a flavor win. Now you just need to focus more on the game mechanics. Usually, people are the other way around. They focus on the mechanics, but the flavor is just not really there. So, yeah. But yeah, you made a mission that I don't hate the theory, the concept of at least. I just don't like the execution. So that's better than 99% of all mission cards I've ever seen. Anyway, also, dire situation, few wording issues. Lego Custodes, it should not have the tactic type, it should have the mission type. Although technically they are also counted as tactics. These purples should probably be specials, not tactics. And there's a few things here and there, like Warlord isn't capitalized. Bit of grammar here and there, but I'm not going to pull up too much on that. Yeah. Good attempt. Good first entry, actually, man. You said this was your first in chat, right? Yeah. Keep coming back.
Yeah, this is really good. Honestly, this is really good. It just needs revisiting, man, because it has like very good sides and things that you really need to look at, because for example, Broken Tesseract Labyrinth, destroy all units. Okay, so...
I didn't even address that, did I? Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
What the fuck?
but it does have extremely good flavor and a very good mission.
Oh,
Just
the
tweak the
problem is, though,
rewards.
once you've pulled it, your opponent basically can't pressure you because it will be a draw. Because like 9 times out of 10, you are going to get one of those. Because there's only what, like six randoms or something like that, and you're going to have a mostly empty hand by then. So you are gonna have one copy of that almost certainly. So
Yeah,
yeah,
so you're basically saying either I win or it's a draw.
yeah, no, it's no. Okay, I'm done.
Okay,
Put
next
my system.
yours.
What's me? Okay. Oh, all right. Rise of Monters. Oh, I'm sorry, man. That's
Oh my god, guys, Shad is gonna be back with us in a second. So level.
I'm sorry for anyone who doesn't know. In England, there's a you can if you call someone a munter with a U, that means really, really ugly, like completely unbangable ugly.
I think we found the next bull.
Oh god. Okay.
And it's funny too because look at just how ugly that thing is. Just look at
I
this.
don't know about you. Oh wait, no, yeah, its ribcage is showing. Okay, otherwise wood. No.
Okay, we'll discuss the card, please.
Rise of Munters. Destroy all troops in play. Replace them with Ruinstorm demons that cost 5 or more. That's super cool. I just wish it wasn't Rise of Munters.
Because it basically destroys all the people in the bar and only leaves the ones who are there after last call.
Yeah, the ugly fuckers turn up in their place.
Holy hell.
Oh my god.
By the way, I like
That's
the
a really
card
cool
though.
card. Yeah, that's a really cool card otherwise. The fucking spelling mistake slain me.
The Rise of the Bulls. Oh my god, guys. And now you're spamming ducks again. Okay.
Okay, so
Love it. I love it.
Obviously, it's kind of random. You can leverage this with low-cost troops, which is cool, though. So, like, you're making a symmetrical effect be balanced. Be in your favor through good, clever gameplay and tactics. It's a little random because of the high variance, but overall, it should balance out reasonably well between 5 and 10. Maybe raise it to like 6 or more, because then it's a nice even 50% of the costs, and 6 to 10 will be a smaller range and thus more well, consistent. But is this even good? So Grey Dog, not well. It can be. Again, if you have like a mediocre board, or you trade in first, and you just replace all of your crappy leftovers and your frogs, your toads, your little plague flies. Yeah, you can use this, but it's not going to be good in all scenarios. I agree.
It's very specific. But
Well, you can also just nerf a big troop. I mean, if your opponent plays like a giant Mara Gull or some ward bullshit, a Ruinstorm Demon of like 5 or more is on average not going to be as good as that. Sure, it's not great, you'd rather kill it, but any port in a storm, right?
yeah, technically speaking, I really like how this can be used in multiple ways to manipulate both your weak board and the enemy's strong board. So I think there's actually a really good idea hiding here. So yeah, I actually quite like it, to be honest. But the name, man. But the name.
Oh, Rise of Munters. It's not quite right, but it's just close. All right. Yeah, nice card, whoever that was. Like,
Maybe they knew that this was gonna happen. You never know, Shad. Everybody's been trolling a lot lately, so okay. All right, we got a Mechanicum card, Archaic Relic. Destroy all troops with less health than attack or less attack than health. Holy shit, so you're basically destroying everything that doesn't have attack equal to its health.
oh, that's weird. I quite like it though.
I actually like it a lot. It's like a Conqueror that you could actually play around, because I think, guys, in Mechanicum, you have quite a lot of cars that have equal attack and health, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
And
it's also worth noting you can manipulate this effect by attacking as well. So there's a lot of leeway you can do to make this one-sided, which justifies the 9 energy cost.
this is actually pretty good.
I like
I
this.
don't know if like this would be played in a lot of situations, but it's something that maybe Mechanicum Warlords could really find useful. I don't know if like they really need. I don't know if nowadays they're weak to need support, but something tells me that no. But otherwise, it's really interesting. I could
I
see
would,
this working.
yeah. I'm trying to think where it would go. It needs to be in like a warlord that can, or a faction that can manipulate health or do pings quite easily. So I don't know. And again, I think it'd be neutrals because, like you said, it's not good enough in a faction deck. But at 9 energy, maybe it can be 8 energy. I don't know. What do you think? Hmm. And
Hmm.
of course, we're ignoring the spelling mistake too. It should be than, not then. But
I mean,
yeah,
I think
it's
9 energy could be okay.
I don't know though. You got to remember, like, it's not always. Well, I suppose most of the time you're going to be able to like blow up all troops with it, and if you have troops on the board, you can manipulate them. So yeah, okay, yeah, no, 9 energy is justified. It's just it's a
Oh,
weird card.
look at this. Guys are saying Defenders of Caliban.
Yeah, that is true. If you can stick a few of the snipers on the board, then they can ping and manipulate the health pools, and obviously they're immune to the effect. So yeah.
Yeah, possibly you
Uh,
could certainly do that.
EG always go off current health with their usual wording. So yes, it would go off current health. So if it's a 5/7 and you ping it down to a 5/5, it becomes immune to this card.
Yeah, I guess that's the thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's pretty cool, honestly.
Yeah, I honestly just like it. It's just really
Mm.
nice.
Nice art too. Yeah. All right, me.
Absolutely. Yeah, Wrath
All
of
right.
the Immaterium.
Oh no, actually, I'm going to be English here and pronounce it correctly. Wrath of the Immaterium. 9 energy, legendary Thousand Suns tactic with stats, but that's an error, so we'll ignore that. Destroy all troops. Focus 8. Your next troop costs 0. Give it fast.
Mm,
Whoa there.
mm.
Yeah, no. I get what you're going for. It's like a warp rift opening, and if you put enough psychic energy in, something comes out and smacks your opponent in the face. Cool flavor, but no. Put that focus cost way up and make it 10 energy if you're gonna do this effect. Um
Yeah,
Technically it doesn't have the focus symbol, but that's not in the plugin, so can't fault you for that. It's hard to put the custom ones in. Um the wording is fine. Otherwise, it's perfect. Otherwise, sometimes people use the energy marker, but also EGI inconsistent with that, so you can use just 0. And obviously, it shouldn't have stats, so you forgot to untick the stat box on that.
yeah.
Yeah.
As Ozzy is saying the correct thing, Garluch moment, because like if you play Ariman, you could
Mm.
certainly almost always have that combo prepared
Oh yeah.
because Ariman like is very consistent and like imagine destroy all troops and then smack you in the face with Galruch. That would be
Yeah.
so toxic.
Brutal, right?
I
Yeah.
think like maybe do flank instead of fast.
Yeah, that could work. Yeah, that would be balanced. Yep.
Yeah, I think that could be pretty good. Absolutely.
Well, no, I don't know though. Because even if you don't get the focus, oh no, you do have to you do have to pay the focus to get the
Yeah,
costs
and
back.
don't forget that its flank would still work because it's next troop, so not this turn,
Mm.
but next troop, so means it carries over.
Mm. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you know what? If it was flank, it would be fine. Yep.
This card didn't make it into the game thanks to the console of Nike.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank
pretty
fuck for
much.
that.
Even Everguild has to obey the council. Yeah, I think needs a change. Way too powerful. Make it flank, and we should be okay.
Yeah. Right. Yours next. Oh, the fucking golf cart is back.
Endless Ruination. Your warlord gains when both players control 5 or more units, destroy all troops. Oh, holy hell. So you always have 2 because it's the enemy, the warlords count. So technically speaking, if anybody ever gets more than 1 unit, everything dies.
Yeah.
I think this is a gym boss's dream.
Yeah. It's also way too like powerful and consistent, and also the wording and timing is very. So this is a static effect. So the moment you have more than 5 units, it destroys all troops. And then if you have 5 or more troops again, it'll destroy all troops again. It'll
Oh,
keep on going.
wait. It's like both players control, so each has to have 5 maybe.
No.
Ah, okay, yeah.
No, that's not the way it's worded.
Yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
should be it should be. Oh no, no, you're right. That wording is ambiguous. Your reading makes sense with the ridiculous mana cost, because if it was any other wording, it would be utterly busted. But if both players need to have 4 troops in play as well, that's a lot harder of a condition to satisfy, which makes sense for the 3 energy.
Probably you play this with only the stuff that plays civilians.
Well, yeah, you definitely want ways to trigger it, wouldn't you? Okay, let's. No, you're right. No, the wording is not ambiguous. We are just reading it wrong. It's not the best wording, but there is nothing grammatically or linguistically wrong with it. It's just odd. Anyway, so we're reading it correctly. It is when both players have 5 units in play, which is how I would probably have worded it. And when that happens, everything gets blown up.
Yay.
So
Like
what I would say here, though, is again, it's still a bit of a weird effect in that it remains persistent. I would probably say only have this trigger once, and then once it's triggered, the effect wears off. Yes, you can nerf the cost a little bit if you want at that point, because it's quite hard to satisfy. But yeah, no, it's quite cool at that point. But then it wouldn't be endless ruination at that point, I suppose. So you'd have to change the name.
then it will just be Ruination.
Yeah, which is a bit of a generic name. Um, Yeah, it should remove this ability after. Yeah, that's what I just said. See, we're on the same page here. That's Hypnomarine, isn't it? I always get the Russian wrong. But yeah. I agree with Hypno. But yeah, it's not bad. At 3 energy, is this busted? I mean, you have to pay for an effect that will do nothing unless you and your opponent both play into it. So then it basically just cuts the board size down, so your opponent can't snowball as hard, but neither can you. But then you'd only play this in a control deck, so you don't care about that. So honestly, I think it's probably fine. It's just weird, and I think it's a
Yeah.
bit too weird, and it could be fixed.
Yeah, just needs a little more fine tuning, I would say, and we're okay.
Make it a resolution effect maybe instead, so it avoids these weird like chaining, destroy all troop player effects. So it just does it once. It checks once at the end of each turn or the beginning of each turn, whether either works.
Shad, there's another card that I forgot to add in the folder, so I'll read that out. So we got.
Can you add it to the folder anyway, though? Because I need it to. There's a guy who's.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna add it to the folder as always. Just
cool.
making sure.
Right.
So it's the Last Dance. I do like the name actually right away. That's pretty cool. So this is an 8 energy Ultramarine card, which is pretty damn cool. By the way, I love that it has incorporated strategy in it, which I think is not currently in the program. Destroy all troops or deal 8 damage to both warlords. Oh, that is so interesting. So it's like
Spicy. Yeah.
that is very spicy, to be honest. Oh. I actually quite like this.
Let me just check something. I need to check how strategy is typically formatted. No, he's formatted it correctly.
Yeah.
Well, technically, or needs to be bolded, but that's like hard to figure out. So again, not gonna put too much emphasis on that. Yeah, it needs or in there somewhere to delineate the 2 abilities. But yeah, dance should be capitalized. Otherwise, wording seems fine. So yes, it's a burn tool.
Which can also be a hard removal.
Yes.
But it also damages you.
Yes, again. So it isn't always going to be Vengeful Spirit. Sometimes it's a draw.
Yes.
So it's like, I mean, technically, again, it's a better Conqueror but Conqueror was weak, so it's okay to power creep.
Yeah, plus it's legendary.
But no. None of that. Stop that.
Okay. Fair enough.
But the fact it has a strategy effect is cool and lets you actually gain some extra value off it. So balance-wise, I think it's fine. I don't know whether it makes sense to exist in Ultramarines as the thing. but the flavor's great. And it has synergy with Gilliman as well, which is nice because God knows nothing else fucking synergizes with him.
You know what the thing with this card is? This card is just so good that you're just like looking at it and you're like, yeah, it's good.
Well, apart from it having strategy, I just don't feel what feels ultramarine about it is the thing.
No, maybe adapting to a situation, burning or removing.
This is true. That is what strategy cards should have done. They should have presented versatile choices.
Which this does, actually. And which, honestly, some of the strategies just don't do.
Yeah, Hypno, I don't know if I agree with the fact that Ultramarine shouldn't have board wipes at all. I think every faction should theoretically have board wipes. It's just they should be very flavored and built around how they play. So I don't know if this is the Ultramarine board wipe. But I do believe one should exist. I just don't know what it would be. And I don't know if this is it.
Well,
yeah, no, Transcend raises a good point. It feels like an Iron Warriors card. That I can agree with.
Yeah, it feels very Iron Warrior, actually. You know what? Strategy also would kind of fit Iron Warriors as well.
Yep. Oh, well, again, strategy should probably just have been a universal effect.
Yeah.
And Ultramarine should have leaned into it with synergy. That should have been their gimmick.
But Shadowland, what about Codex from Orpfork? Okay, so let's... Okay. I think we'll have ample time to think about how much we like this after we discuss the winners.
Or
right. Actually during when we discuss the winners. By the way, I need to upload this golf video. Okay, so I already have one that I think really does go into top 3. I don't know where. I'm just gonna name one, and that one is going to be Emergency Powers.
That was my first pick as well, actually. So that's probably going to take first, I would say.
We'll see. It's really good.
Very strange things happen. Yeah.
It's just really good. I like a lot of things about this card. I like the drawbacks. It's well balanced. The art is just fantastic. And yeah, overall a very good card. So that's one candidate.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we got.
I have 3 others, but there's only 2 spots.
You got 3 others?
Yeah.
Which ones?
Like, Paramus, because it's really cool.
Yeah,
but I think it would be a bit
really
toxic.
Cool.
So at best, that's getting 3rd place, I would say.
Yeah,
but
maybe.
But it might not even get a place. Is my point. Yeah. And Rise of Monters. Spelling mistake aside, it's pretty cool.
I mean, it is. Oh my god.
And I quite like Archaic Relic as well.
Archaic Relic? Which one's the Archaic Relic? This one, right?
Mechanicum one, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's also pretty good.
Yeah. But what were your choices? Any different from mine?
I mean, I like those as well. I do also like Last Dance, even though I do see the problems with it in terms of the thing. It kind of gives you that feeling of it's just a very good card. Just you usually like to say it. It doesn't spark joy, right? Is what you said.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
But it's a good card for sure. Rise of Monters. Just really good. Okay, I think actually...
Oh yeah? You got another one. Alright, throw it in.
I also do like Dark King. But I don't know if it takes any places.
It's just so random, isn't it? It's not quite right.
It just has holes in it.
Yeah.
I mean, I would really love... Exactly. I would love Demonic Ascension, but currently the balance between the stuff is just too broken. Yeah. Otherwise, this has amazing potential.
I don't hate Endless Ruination either, to be honest. It's a bit funky in the way it functions, so I think that probably
needs some fine tuning.
Yeah, it feels like a runner-up. Like it's almost top 3, but yeah.
I would say number 1. I think it should indisputably go to Emergency Powers.
Yeah, I agree. First place for Emergency Powers. Yeah, love
First place is Emergency Powers. Now, what about second place? Is it gonna go to Archaic or Rise of the Monters? Or
what do you think?
Want to put it to a vote?
We could. I'm leaning towards Archaic, honestly, because it's just better balanced. Because Rise of Monters, again, it's got the spelling mistake, which is hilarious, but also it's quite random at times. But then you can leverage it, which is cool. They're both good. I suppose, like, by technicality, Archaic Relic takes it because it's more polished.
I agree. Yeah, for second
Yeah.
place, I think Archaic definitely should take it.
Well, in that
Everybody's
case,
saying,
yeah. Yeah.
everybody's calling it Golf Marine for number. Oh my god.
And I like Paramus, but I think it's too it would be too toxic compared to Rise of Monters. Sorry, it's got no other name now.
Okay, so we agree that Emergency Powers takes number 1, Archaic takes number 2, and Rise of the Monters takes number 3. I think we do.
Fucking name is great. Yeah, no, I'm fine with those. You happy with those?
I'm
like
absolutely
Paramus,
happy with those.
Yeah, I like Paris, but it's toxic and it's just too much for 2E.
These were some very, very interesting. This was a very, very interesting submission for sure.
They were all cool, weren't they? And interesting. It's a very flashy line of text, so it makes sense, I suppose.
Yeah. By the way, Shad, I have an idea for the next one, and we're gonna put that out very soon.
Yeah,
and
it's a flavor one this time, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like a flavor one. Yeah, not a mechanic, but a flavor one. And I think I know what it's gonna be, but we'll see. We'll discuss it with you. And guys, sorry for the no video on this one. Glad still that many of you submitted, but for the next one, I'll definitely upload the video tomorrow. On top of that, yeah, go on.
I was going to say, I have a little bit of news for something that's coming as well, by the way. So a lot of people would like to play Legacy or would like to play with these custom cards and obviously can't. But a member of the Card Creation Discord has actually started putting together a TTS mod for Horus Heresy Legions. And that will allow us to play in all kinds of interesting ways with all kinds of interesting cards in a full collection. So
that would definitely make me play HHL.
Yeah, right. Watch this space is all I'm saying. Watch this space.
Fair enough. By the way, guys, please check out the schedule on the community part of my YouTube to see what things are coming and when. And yeah, thank you for joining in, and we'll let you know very soon what the next tournament is going to be. And congratulations to the winners. Be seeing you.